So let me check what's on the calendar. It says 4:30.
4:30.
I don't know. Did you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm able to see it.
Oh.
I didn't know that. Generally, like for other XML training, and all, we used to do until 3 o'clock your time, so, and give like an hour back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. We will do a little extra half an hour today. No problem. Because compared to other students, you have more knowledge.
Like in terms of like where I'm supposed to be with the training.
Yeah.
Oh.
People don't even understand what is a selector. Okay, it takes like forever for us to explain that.
Oh. I think what helped me is I spent a lot of time on YouTube trying to understand this stuff.
Yeah.
I did it with React, and since I did it with React, it's like
That itself is another bonus thing because many people don't even understand HTML tags.
yeah.
Okay, so that being the case, it will be like a lot more thing for us that we should go much more slower and all those things.
Declaration expected.
The installation of Node itself will take about 15-20 minutes for us.
Yeah.
So Visual Studio would be another 10 minutes.
Yeah, this stuff is kind of hard though.
I know. Initially, it looks like it.
Yeah, especially if like Node is giving errors, it's like, oh my god.
Sorry. I myself refer to Google sometimes a Stack Overflow website. Try
That's
to find there.
where I spend most of my time. Success alert. Okay, so this is where you name the component so that you could provide it in a module.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's why I was trying to make you do it manually. So, sorry, that was the intention behind it.
That's good.
Remember, I was telling you, unless you export something, nobody will know that this component exists.
Wow.
I mean, you might have written a component, but unless you export it, other components will not know how that this is available for us to use.
And then just to like understand the object-oriented stuff, this implement. So this on init is defined.
Hold on a second. Did an init function was coming to you guys by default?
Yeah, it does. It was here. The success one, the one I did with the CLI.
Okay, so do one thing. So you created that, it automatically popped up. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So do one thing, you don't write that implements on in it.
Okay.
That's okay. Basically, what implements means, it is just an interface kind of thing, right? So if you implement that, then what it means is, as soon as the initialization happens or the component gets created, go ahead and call this function.
Okay.
And generally what we do in this particular onInit function is, we will make a request to the backend and say, please get me the data.
Ah, I see.
And then once the data comes, we will ask the UI component to show it on the UI.
Like the life cycle.
Yeah, not life cycle. Let's assume that I am showing a list of servers from the backend. Then I will say, okay, get me the list of servers. Then it will give you like say 10 servers. All the 10 server details, you will show it on the UI screen. Then you will update one of the server. Then that server detail will send it to the backend. to persist it. So
see. And then, so when I import the component, do I add it in imports or provider? Actually, no. Bootstrap.
imports, forms module, declarations app component, imports browser module, forms module. Then we also in the app component, let's assume that you create a new component, then you have to register that component.
So which of these?
When you did that success component, where all it registered, just below that add this component also. Simple.
The thing is, it didn't add it. It's not in the module.
No, it's not in the module. I am App.module.ts. Imports browser module, forms module, declaration component, app component, comma.
Oh,
Not bootstrap.
on declarations.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's weird that the CLI didn't do that. So I'll do
Double. This got completed, right?
okay. So I
1 second. So this component is completed, right? So I'm sending it in the chat. Like say, for example, when you create a new component, just app component next to that, different components what you have written or what you have registered. So
okay. NG modules, declarations.
see, only in the providers you are going to have. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. So unless a component is imported, see, first you need to export the current component, telling that I'm okay if somebody you wants to use it. Then the guy who wants to use it should tell exactly like, okay, where is this component located and how I'm going to use it. So I have to import it. One is you need to export it, and another guy you have to tell that okay, now he's exporting. Now you need to use it to import it. So,
Yeah, I think I get the cycle.
yeah.
Hold on. What's that app? Uh,
Hold on 1 second. So I just wanted to explain something in the this one Angular life cycle. Then maybe one more time I'll repeat it tomorrow. Let me share my screen. So. Are you able to see my screen?
No, not yet.
Okay. So are you able to see the architecture diagram?
It's loading. Okay, there we go.
Okay. So if you observe that, remember that you have a component. From the component, you link to the template. The template is nothing but the HTML template.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So you have a property binding. Remember that the username to the template by using string interpolation.
Yep. And that's one-way binding, right?
Correct. This is this way. Are you able to see my arrow? It's going.
Yes. I can see your cursor.
Yeah. Now another side, when the template you change something, the using event binding, you send the data to the component back.
Okay.
Like when you click on something, you take an action, you update the property, then send the data to the backend. Nothing but the event binding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in order to link the template and the component, you have something like a metadata. You
Okay.
specify the location, you specify the styles and all those things.
Right.
Okay. Now remember that I was telling you that the component can send the data to the backend using the service.
Um, I don't remember, but
No worries. I will just mention to you one more time. See, a component can send the data to the backend. Remember, I was mentioning to you that you will have service components, a service modules, a service components, what we call it as, which can communicate to the backend by making get, put, post, delete,
okay.
like a service layer.
Yep.
Okay. So we send the data to the backend by making calls like get, put, post, delete.
Okay.
Okay. So it is, remember I also mentioned to you that services will be used throughout the application. That is why it will be registered under the providers.
Okay. So
So service is an injector mainly because it will be injected to every component which wants to use it.
okay, it makes sense so far.
Yeah. So a component can receive this by using dependency injection. We call it dependency injection, but think like you are injecting a component.
Okay.
Okay. So you on the other side you have different modules. So module component like browser module, any other modules you want to include or use, you can have that module component, module service and so on. So that is nothing but the module registration. Okay. Now remember that certain times the you create a new component and how do you use the component? By
Uh,
using directives. Like say for example, what is a directive? Like when you say h1 tag, you say okay, h1 means show it as header. Correct? No,
what's your question?
h1 component, h1 tags.
Yeah. So what I remember is the selector property.
Correct, correct. That's nothing but how do you use it? That is nothing but directives only. But like example, there is another directory called ng for and ng if.
Oh,
Okay. Even at component is also a directive only.
okay.
Okay. The directive is nothing but it does the DOM manipulation. Like example, I will say like, okay, if certain conditions are met, show a component like paragraph. Otherwise, don't show.
Oh, right, right. I remember
That,
that.
that's nothing but that directive. You have the capability to do the DOM manipulation itself.
Is that what the ng ifs are or ng4?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Correct. You can repeat the component by using ng for. Like using a for loop, I would like to show the component 3 times, 4 times like that.
Yep.
Just an example. Okay. NG if means if a certain conditions are met, show this component, otherwise don't show.
Got it. And those are called directives.
Directives. Okay. So this is nothing but the architecture diagram of the Angular application. So services will be used throughout the application. That is why it's called services. Data binding is nothing but you're communicating between the component to the template and template to the component, more like a two-way binding or things like that. Okay. Dependency injection is nothing but you're injecting the component like a service component will be injected so that it has the capability to communicate to the backend, and whoever wants to use that component will inject the service component within that.
Okay.
So that's nothing but the architecture diagram of the Angular application, how it works. Building block. Remember bootstrapping the application at the root module? I talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you continue your building that application which you are working on. Okay, so you also know that the JavaScript, sorry, the TypeScript file gets compiled to JavaScript and then it will run the application. You are aware of that, right?
Yes.
Okay. For today.
Um. Okay. I'm gonna share my thing.
Yeah.
So this is what I did with the warning that I built.
No,
Man,
no, that looks okay. Good. Can you go to the app component.html?
app component.
App component.html.
Yeah.
You would. Can you repeat that warning alert one more time? The whole line. 25.
Like make it twice.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Absolutely. That's why I'm making you do that. Cut and paste it one more line. Paste it 2-3 times. No problem. Yeah. Now see the UI. Save it.
Whoa.
See.
So they're reusable.
It's reusable. It's like similar to that H1 tag.
Okay.
If I type H1 3 times, it will show you 3 times, no?
Yeah.
So similar to that directive, basically. It's a reusable.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's why I was mentioning that you can use it more than once, no problem. Like example, let's assume that I'm going to show a list of servers from the backend. Now I will say, give me the list of servers what is available. Let's assume I have 2 Mac machine and 1 Lenovo or whatever. So I will have list of server coming from the backend. Now based on that, I'll run it in a for loop and I will show the app server. Like remember that you used to do that for loop.
Yeah.
So do that for loop one sorry, like for 1 to 5 or 1 to 3, and then repeat that app warning component. It will repeat 4 times, 5 times like that.
Um.
So you are using ng for
Okay.
directive.
Uh.
Don't
So.
worry, do it tomorrow anyways.
So can I just define an array here?
Yeah, TypeScript, whatever you want to do it. Remember, you can create a property and get the value of the property.
Yeah.
Same thing, yeah. You remember you created the username, you were able to get that username on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Do one thing, do it as an exercise for tomorrow, no problem. I mean, say, in the evening after 10 minutes from now.
Oh, okay.
Do that as an exercise. Okay, so that is one thing. Okay, so can you just do one thing? Also, can you go to the global styles.css? Uh, yeah, so put a global property like, say, for example, set the background color for the body tag, like styles. Refer to the styles and set the background property to say blue or yellow, so, and see it in action.
It doesn't work.
It will work. Believe me, it will work.
It's not recognizing it.
Hold on. So I'm going to send some styles in the this one, the global thing. So just put it and see whether it will affect anything. Okay. Hold on 1 second. In this chat, I'm sending it.
Okay.
Unless you have some H1 property or something. Okay. So within that, you introduce something called like a background color or something. Okay. I have to give you background color property. Hold on. Hold on. Can you set this also? Am I having my application running? Let me see. If I will only set it here. Styles.css. Okay, I need it. Do that again. Sure. Okay, once again. Can you try this background property also? Let me see.
Uh,
What happened?
is that on the global CSS file?
Yeah, correct. Okay, put it along with the other one. No problem. As long as the styles don't over,
Oh,
can't
now,
see.
now it works.
It's affecting the whole application.
Oh, why is the syntax like that?
What?
So instead of doing the dot body,
This is style class, right? So by default, you're applying the style class across the whole application. So you're saying in the body, okay, apply the style throughout the application. So you can create a style class, then you need to use that style class means you need to specify like, okay, dot class and dot and then specify the CSS property and then use that in the applications. Are you with me? So
yeah. So it works.
okay, yeah. So at least you see the global style. Okay. So what was the thing? 1 second. So what was the assignment? So you were supposed to be trying out
I was,
ng for ng if those kind of things. Try it out, please.
okay.
Okay. So you notice that your reusable components are also you are kind of playing around with, which is good. And tomorrow we will explore like ng far, ngif, ng style, those kind of things. We will explore a little more detail and create your own custom directives and all those things.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. So we will take a break for today. You practice for another hour or so and then continue. So
Okay.
and let me know if you have any doubts tomorrow.
All right. I'll let you know.
Or send it in the email if you have any doubts, so that I will once I wake up in the morning, I will check everything and then I will, if there is any answers needs to be created or something, I will work on that. So
Okay.
okay,
Thank you.
sounds good. So we'll connect tomorrow. So
Yes.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Have a nice night.
Thank you.